Welcome to the Whyte Answer. In this edition, I'll be covering the role of vitamin D in health and performance. The role of vitamin D in the body. Vitamin D is a steroid hormone and is one of the many vitamins essential in ensuring healthy bodily function. Sufficient vitamin D intake ensures maximal intestinal calcium absorption. This is imperative in maintaining optimum calcium metabolism to promote bone health and density. Furthermore, sufficient vitamin D intake enhances immunomodulatory function, which results in a reduced incidence of illness, for example, upper respiratory tract viral infections. Severe vitamin D deficiency can lead to reduced bone density and skeletal deformities called rickets, in addition to an increased risk of developing cancer, cardiovascular disease, multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, and type 1 diabetes. Vitamin D deficiency can cause muscle weakness, prolonged time to peak muscle contraction, and hypertonia in children. The process and sources of vitamin D production. The body's vitamin D requirement can be attained easily and efficiently, and is naturally derived from sunlight by a process called photolysis. When the skin, or epidermis, the outermost layer of the skin, is exposed to ultraviolet B, it initiates the photodecomposition of a chemical called 7-dehydrocholesterol, consequently forming vitamin D. In addition to sunlight, vitamin D can also be derived from dietary sources such as oily fish, for example salmon, mackerel and sardines, egg yolks and cod liver oil. Foods that are fortified with vitamin D include milk, most fruit juices and various breads and cereals. After bloodstream uptake via intestinal absorption or skin synthesis, vitamin D is then converted by the liver into 25-hydroxyvitamin D. 25-hydroxyvitamin D is then converted into 1,25-hydroxyvitamin D in the kidneys. These two vitamin D metabolites are then transported around the body to vitamin D receptors, triggering multiple vital metabolic actions. The primary function of 1,25-dihydroxyvitamin D is to ensure the homeostasis of calcium and phosphorus in the body. Recommended vitamin D intake. The recommended adequate intake of vitamin D for children and adults and the elderly is approximately 400, 600 and 800 international units per day, or roughly 10 to 20 micrograms respectively. The recommended vitamin D metabolite 25-hydroxyvitamin D concentration is suggested to be around 30 nanograms per milliliter. In acknowledgement of this guideline, it is estimated that roughly half of children and adolescents may be vitamin D deficient. There are a number of factors that predispose an individual to vitamin D deficiency, including low dietary intake, dark skin pigmentation, inadequate sun exposure due to exposure at dawn and dusk, insufficient surface area of skin exposed to sunlight, cloudy conditions or winter months, northern latitudes, or the overuse of sunblock. To ensure sufficient vitamin D intake, you should adopt a varied diet and ensure your skin receives regular daily exposure to natural sunlight. However, remember to avoid overexposure of sunlight by applying sunscreen and monitoring the amount of time your bare skin is exposed to the sun. In a healthy individual, over-the-counter vitamin D supplementation is not necessary. However, if you are concerned that you may be vitamin D deficient, check out the link below.